Uh, hey! Welcome to the Lizard Life. I'm Elizabeth, Liz, or Lizard, depending on how you know me, and this is my life. um, guys, I went on a road trip and I fell in love with the Pacific Northwest, and it's a problem because I really want to live there now, and I really don't like how brown it is here in Utah. And guys, I really, really, really want to live there now, but I cannot afford to move, so we're stuck here. Also, I don't like this yellow anymore. It's too hot. She says while wearing all hot colors, but like, ugh, it's just so yellow. Also, right now, I have a lot of light coming from that window right there. I don't know why that's not normal, but it's definitely helping with this yellow. So, I don't know. But that backdrop is going to be changing in the next few videos. Not that I'm going to paint. I'll probably just hang up some fabric or something. Anyway, yeah, I went on a road trip last weekend for the wedding of my sister's sister-in-law. It was mostly an excuse for me to go see my sister and nephew and brother-in-law again, because I love them. And that was in Oregon, and it was absolutely gorgeous. Like, the wedding was beautiful. They had a ring ceremony underneath a weeping willow tree. It was absolutely gorgeous, and it rained, which I think is super romantic, and it was just absolutely beautiful, and I really, really, really am glad that I went, because it was a great experience for me, and it was so fun getting to see family that I haven't spent any time with in a while, and yeah, I thought I would just talk about the trip today, because I'm pretty tired still from all that travel. So first of all, I slept over at my sister's sister-in-law's house. I'm going to call her Elf. For privacy's sake. So I slept over at Elf's house the night before we left for the trip. And I showered there, and then when I got out of the shower, she was totally out, dead asleep. It was like midnight-ish by that point, and I decided to actually go to sleep at like 1 a.m., which was not a good idea. Not that I could really help that, because that's just what my body's used to at this point. But we got up at 4 in the morning to start driving so that we could get there by the evening. And, you know, sleeping in a different environment, I did not get much sleep anyway, so, like, maybe 2 hours of sleep, but it wasn't high quality at all. But, like, I'm used to operating on very little sleep because of my chronic insomnia, so it was fine. Drove for 13 hours, which was kind of exhausting, but it was a good time. We had some good conversations that I actually don't remember because I was too tired. But about 5 hours into the drive, we stopped for gas, and we went into this gas station, and they had like a sort of gift shop attached to it. So just to avoid sitting for as long as possible, I wandered around the gift shop for a little bit, and they had Swiss Army pocket knives that were personalized with, like, people's names, and I was like, it would be hilarious to get these, just, like, as a dumb souvenir. And I found Elf's name, but I could not find mine, and I didn't really feel like spending that much money at that time anyway. So I ended up just getting myself a kombucha, and then I drove from there to the next stop, which was, I don't know, maybe 4 hours, something like that. And then Elf drove the rest of the way. And the last stretch, like, we were exhausted and ready to get out of the car. We did not want to be in a car anymore. But we were driving through a mountain and a forest, and oh my goodness, it was absolutely gorgeous. I'll stick a clip in right here because I took a short video of just the trees because they were beautiful. It's beautiful. It was absolutely amazing. But before we got into that forest, we drove through this adorable tiny little town, and there was an advertisement that said something about Bigfoot, and I remembered that Oregon is where Bigfoot is. And, like, I don't really believe in Bigfoot, but I love the idea of Bigfoot. I think it's hilarious. So I was like, oh my gosh, while we're in Oregon, I need to get something Bigfoot related. So we were joking about that for a little while. And then we got to the house where we were staying, and Elf and I, our plan was to sleep in the backyard. And my parents insisted that I bring a tent, even though our plan was to sleep just under the stars. So, brought a tent, and it was kind of nice having it because I ended up putting it underneath my pillow to prop it up a little bit higher. And that was really nice. And actually, that night was super, super nice. Like, not cold at all, which I was kind of expecting it to be because, like, it's getting into fall in that part of the US. But it was fine. And it was super nice. Like, it was so cozy. Oh my goodness. Only problem is, I forgot to bring socks. The only shoes I brought were some Crocs that I recently purchased. Well, off-brand Crocs. And I thought it would be fine to not wear socks with them, but they rubbed my feet just exactly the right way to give me some blisters, which was not fun. So, the next day was the wedding, and we had a good time. I got to play with the baby while everybody was in the actual ceremony. That was great. And then we went to the reception, which was actually at a nursing home where the bride works. And so that was super nice. Like, they catered it, and, like, they set it all up all beautiful outside. And like I said, they had the ring ceremony there and all these cute tables, and it rained, which I didn't mind at all. I love the rain. And they had these little octopuses that another sister of the bride made. Like, she crochets them. It's so cute. I love it so much. And they were party favors. I forget what the word is for weddings. But I was super happy when I found that out because I was like, I don't have a tiny little crocheted octopus. And I love them so much. Between the actual wedding and the reception, we ran over to Walmart because Elf realized that she wanted to have some wet wipes for the car ride because we were eating some chips and like Cheetos and stuff and didn't want to be wiping them on our pants anymore. And we also bought a few other things that we had forgotten. And I had the opportunity to get some socks. And we were joking about it would be hilarious to find some Bigfoot socks. Didn't end up finding any. But while we were at Walmart, we found these socks. And they're so cute, and I love them so much. We got them. I love them so much. What's next? The wedding reception was so much fun. My sister gave the baby over to her in-laws for a little while we were eating. And at one point, I made eye contact with him, and he goes, "Ah!" It was so cute. It was amazing. And, like, it just feels really cool that I'm his favorite auntie. It makes me happy. So much fun. I did cry a couple times because I missed my sister a lot. And I do again. And it was just really... Dang it. It was just really great to spend time with her and the baby and everybody again. Sorry. I didn't cut that out of embarrassment of crying. I cut it because my phone is getting mad at me about storage space. um, anyway, it was a really, really great time, and I got a little bit emotional, and it's okay. I really wish that in society it was more acceptable for people to show emotions. Like, they're important, and it's dumb that you're seen as, like, weak or something if you have any emotion other than happy. Anyway, so had lots of fun with my sister and the baby and my brother-in-law and my sister's in-laws. Our families really mesh super well together, so like there wasn't any problem at all with me crashing the wedding or even like sleeping over at my sister's sister-in-law's house. Both times. We all just had so much fun together, and it was such a great trip. So the last day, when we were coming home, Elf and I decided to stop at Multnomah Falls, and that was great. My mom and I stopped there on the way to Seattle, but we only went about halfway up. This time, Elf and I went all the way to the top of the waterfall. It was absolutely gorgeous. Oh my gosh, I took a lot of really great pictures. Sorry, had to switch cameras because my phone is very mad at me about storage right now. I took lots of beautiful pictures on the hike, and then when we got back down, we decided to check out the gift shop. And, okay, I have a small collection of mini snow globes from places that either I visit or someone I love visits, namely my sister, who just moved and who I got to see again in Oregon. This is from her when she went to Hawaii, and she actually already gave me one from Oregon from spending a year and a half there several years ago. And I was like, oh my gosh, how perfect would it be if I found a mini snow globe that has Bigfoot in it? That would be amazing. I didn't find one like that, but I did find this, which is a snow globe, and it's a magnet to go on a fridge. I still have the price tag on it. That's funny. So I had to buy this. And then, as I was looking around, I also, look at this! It's amazing! I love it so much! And it fits the exact same amount of liquid as the mugs that I use all the time. So, like, it's perfect! And I don't know why I love mugs so much, but I do. After Multnomah Falls, we drove over just like 2 minutes to this other smaller waterfall. And we were thinking originally that we would hike that one as well, but I was so tired. Because, like, who gets sleep when they are traveling? That's not a thing. So we decided not to hike it, but we did kind of like pull into the parking lot for it and didn't find a parking space, so we just kind of were like, oh, that's really pretty, and drove on. And Elf drove for a couple hours and then was having a hard time staying awake, so we switched, and I drove for several hours, and then we switched again at a rest stop, where we did I did yoga, and Elf did some karate stuff, because she does that. So I realized this on the first drive all the way out there. Elf and I basically live on different time zones, even though we're just like 10 minutes from each other, because she gets up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning, and goes to bed at like 10. I get up at probably, well, depending on if I have school or not, I'll get up at 9 or 10, and I stay up until like 2:30 in the morning. So like we're awake for the same amount of hours, but they're very different. So I thought that was interesting. So I drove the last few hours home because I'm used to being up late like that. And it was a great time. Okay, here's the funny thing. Remember how I mentioned that it rained while we were at the wedding reception? Well, Elf and I hadn't thought about it, and we left our sleeping bags outside. So, they got wet, and the funny thing about that is because I had put the tent underneath my pillow to prop it up, it ended up being the only thing outside that stayed dry. I thought that was hilarious. Kind of sucked that our sleeping bags were soaking wet that night, but we were planning on sleeping inside that night anyway, so that turned out totally fine. Yeah, I'm really, really glad that I went on this trip. It was exhausting and I got emotional a couple times, but overall it was really, really great, and I had such a good time. And now I have some ghost socks and a Bigfoot mug. So overall worth it. Next week I have a fun video that's going to be Salt Lake City's Comic Con or FanX related. And the one after that will probably definitely also be FanX related because I'm not going to have time to come up with a fresh video. But after that, I have some other old footage from like a year ago that I could make another video out of. But if you guys have any ideas of what you want to see, I would love to hear it in the comments. Also, really glad that you guys appreciated the video last week. I'm really proud of how that turned out. Actually, it was harder work than it looks like. Like, setting up that backdrop was super difficult, way harder than it needed to be. But I'm really proud of the echo that I got. That was some editing magic, and I'm very proud of it. So I'm really glad that you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one too. And bonus points if you have counted how many octopuses are on me. Hi, baby. Aww. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye! Wait. I forgot that I also bought this. She's in love. She's in love. Plain to see, no mistake, no mistake. Look at those moonbeams in her wake. Obvious what they must be, symptoms of. She's in love. She's in love. She's in love.